Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I want us to talk about digital privacy. Well, if you don't have any idea or if you don't have any knowledge about what digital privacy is, well, let me give you an overview. So digital privacy is often used in contexts which promote advocacy on behalf of individual and consumers, typically um, in the space of e-services that provides an opposition or that opposes the business practices of e-service providers and then marketers. Like, so we can talk about any advertisement company or any company that deals with trading, any trading company or online shop, and and so here's the case that we have our information, right? We have our information, and then these companies or these services have access to them and then use our information to their benefits, and then while we don't have any idea or what sort of anything about what they do with them. And so a lot of companies, if you want to try and talk about that, they're going to tell you that they have them in their TNCs, their terms and conditions. Well, who nobody actually reads because they don't want you to really read them, because they make them so long, lengthy, complex, and then nobody's gonna waste his time reading TNC. But sometimes I think you should have to like brush through the TNC and see what it's all about, right? Some highlights are always there that you can read it. I've seen, but what I'm trying to get across is that digital privacy is something that we should really take serious here. I'm not trying to coach you on the best practices or how you should provide your data, but I have some kind of um, um, really simple ideas or tips that I think that you should really do. You should really take into consideration when you think about your information or your private stuff, because a lot of times, sometimes we don't know the kind of information that people have about us, right? If you are in an advanced country, you should worry a lot. Well, if you are in a country or if you are in somewhere like a developing country in which a lot of stuff is not documented, I think you might be really reserved or really in kind of a situation where you don't really have much problem about that. But once you have access to the internet, right? Once you browse through the internet, you should be careful of whatever information you put anywhere, right? Let me just give you these five tips that I think will really help solve these private issues and all that. All right, so but before we get into the tips, let's talk something. Let me tackle the difference between privacy and then security, digital privacy and security. Well, privacy is more concerned or is focused on making policies that are going to protect or that are going to ensure that the digital information or personal data of consumers are used in appropriate ways, right? When we talk about security, we're talking about protecting these information from malicious attacks and any other as was in a malicious intent over them. So they are kind of like really similar but a little bit different. So security alone cannot protect your private data or your digital privacy. All right, so the number one tip that I want to share with you guys is like secure your accounts. We're talking about accounts from every website that you've been to, any other services that you've used, right? You're talking about Facebook account, Instagram account, Snapchat, all social media networks. We're talking about especially even TikTok accounts, right? And we talk about securing them in a way that you don't have third party or you don't have other individual having access to your account. So how do you do that? There are simple ways that you have to do that. You have to first of all make sure you have a very stronger password, and make sure that you have two-factor authentication, that is one, or any other security measures. So because these these apps or these social media networks, because of the cries that have been heard by their consumers these days, they have provided different, or countless security measures that you can take to protect your account. So first of all, you make sure you have a stronger password combination of characters. Just make it really strong and make it really hard for someone not to decipher in less than 1 minute without really thinking. And also using two-factor, as I said. And we should also bear in mind that accounts that we don't really need or we don't really use again, if you have access to your old accounts, I think it's better sometimes you just get rid of them, accounts that you are no longer using, right? And if you have old Facebook accounts, if you still have the details, you can go back and then just go and delete it, and that will make your work much easier, because some of these old accounts have information that you don't really want to put out there, because sometimes you have these old accounts, or you create new accounts because you feel like the old account is in a way having some maybe images or pictures that you don't really want to be out there, so you just decide to create a new account. So just go back, if you can find it, just go and delete it and get it out of the system. All right, so another point that, or another tip that you should um do is that you should protect your web browser. So how do you protect your web browser? First of all, everything you do on the web is being monitored, right? It's being monitored. So how do we protect that? We can protect this by using an a VPN, a virtual private network, which will give you random IP addresses that you can use to access the internet. Proton VPN is a very good example of one, and there are a lot more other VPNs that you can be using. So why should we protect our web browser? Well, if someone has a malicious or a very bad intention with you, you don't know what the person is going to do with your information, right? Sometimes everybody has one special thing, or have very varied browsing history, right? If you go right now, open your laptop or your computer, then you check your browsing history, there are certain things that you do that you want them to remain private. Here's a funny case that you do them but you want them to remain private, forgetting that you're on Google Chrome and then you're on Firefox, or they all have details of that. They know whatever you are doing, right? And so using a VPN will go a long way to help in that. So another point, that is number three, which you should consider, is that you should use antivirus for your machine, and also as well as USB. If you run in Windows 10, I think you have the Windows Defender antivirus, or should I say firewall, that can protect you. And also, if you someone running on Mac, I don't think you should be worrying about those things. And especially the area I want you to keep more eye on is the USB. Well, sometimes the viruses or the Trojan horses, any kind of virus that might be dangerous, sometimes they use various means in getting to your system, right? Sometimes you try to run applications, especially in games, and then files that you don't know how these viruses are programmed to attack. So you should bear in mind when you're putting any USB device on your system, you should bear in mind that you have a really good software that can scan for viruses, and then you'll be good with that. So all right, so another one is also that you shouldn't install sketchy software. Well, sometimes you get links from unknown contacts, right? And they ask you to install this software for this and this and that. In this age, and especially where everybody is struggling to have access to some information, sometimes when these individuals or these when individuals have access to your private information, they usually know what you want, they usually know what you are of interest or what might be of interest to you, right? And they use these tactics to target their victims. So what they do is that maybe you are into maybe should I say um fashion, you are into fashion, they might give you a link telling you to go and buy this item, which in a way maybe those items over there might be cheaper, but the moment you hop on those links and then join whatever they are doing, you kind of have yourself in a very difficult situation because you've provided information that they will need. They know what they want. Usually they don't really ask for information, they really ask for information that you would think that people wouldn't ask for, right? So you don't be stupid, just don't be stupid online, don't be stupid online, and then you should be good. All right, so the last but not least the last but not the least point is that you should always make sure that you update your software and devices regularly, because when anytime a new update is released of any device or software, mostly it's always about security updates that they improve. Maybe they had an attack or some kind of attack recently, and they've improved or they've tackled the situation and they fix the bugs, and all the time they find bugs in these software, so which they have to be fixed all that. So make sure that you have your apps up to date, to up to the latest version, and then make sure that all your devices too are up to the latest version. And so that these five tips I think will go a long way to help you protect your data, and make sure your information is kind of safe on the internet. So now, if the video was helpful, make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to the channel, and also leave down a comment if you have any thoughts that you want to share to us. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.